separated for this video because I read the questions beforehand so I could give you an answer. And if I'm looking here, it's because my laptop is here and I have the questions. Okay, so let's just get right into it. The first question is, when did you start reading and what's your relationship to reading? So I started reading when I was like 12, maybe 11. I used to read, I cannot remember the name in English, but Diary of a Wimpy Kid or something. Is that what it's called? There's movies and all that. Those were the books that I first started reading when I was like 10, 11. But I started reading, like really reading more like young adult, middle grade books when I was 12. I actually started with the Hunger Games series, the Hunger Games trilogy. And I read Percy Jackson, I read The Selection, I read a few other romance books and fantasies. And yeah, it was when I started reading. Then in 2016, I kind of stopped reading for some reason. I'm not sure why, like what happened, but I stopped reading. And I would read, like, if I read 2 books a year, it would be a lot. But I got back to reading in the end of 2019. I reread the Selection series, and then January of 2020, I read 2 other books that I had read yet. So 2020 was when I got back into reading, and 2021 I read even more. And now I'm like a book stan, if you will. And I read like over like 47 books in 2021, 66 books in 2022. My goal for this year is 50 books. I aimed lower than my reading goal for last year just because, I think it's better to aim low for me, because if I like exceed the goal, it's a bonus, it's a bonus, and it's a surprise. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to read, and it doesn't matter how many books you read a month or a year, okay, as long as you are enjoying what you're reading and you're just having a good time. Don't pressure yourself into reading just because of the number. But yeah, my relationship to reading is basically that I read a lot. It's an escape, definitely an escape. I usually read romance or like fantasies with a romance subplot, and it's just an escape. It's comfort, honestly. And the second question I already answered. Do you have a reading goal this year? What is it, and do you think you reach it? My Goodreads goal this year is 50 books. I am on 24, so I've read 24 this year so far. So I'm like almost halfway through, and I think I will reach it. Yes, I hope. What genre do you enjoy reading the most, and why? Romance, like I said, also answer that question. Yeah, romance, contemporary romance, and fantasy romance, romantasy, or not even fantasy romance. It's more like fantasy with a subplot of romance. It's usually what I read, but I do want to get into fantasy romance and into like romantasy, because the romance is a little bit more the focus than a fantasy with a subplot of romance would be against them. The 4th question is, what's your favorite book of all time and why? So I do not have a favorite book of all time. I do not know how to answer this question, and like I cannot pick favorites. Like I can't. But if I say what comes to mind, it's actually a series that I read in, was it last year? I think it was last year. I just ate Grace. It's Asher. So is it Asher and Grace? But the first book is only like 180 pages long. It's more of like because something happened in the past, and then there's like a big time jump, and the second book starts. So yeah, the first and second book are about the same couple, but the other 4 books are each one is about one couple, one brother, and I just loved it so much. Like it was just in use. It was also like such a surprise because I did not think that I would love it so much because I'm used to reading contemporary romance, so I'm used to basically reading the same thing kinda and not being too surprised. But and it's not like there's like a different thing about it exactly. It's just that it hit right for me, it's just so emotional. It's also like funny in a few moments. The bond that the brothers have is so beautiful. They have like a grandma that's so like wise, and it's just so cozy. And at the same time, there's also like a mystery going on. There's a feud in the city that they live in. It's a small town romance series. There's a feud, and their family has like a rival family. So it's the Bailey family against the Haven family, and they like pull pranks at each other. That's like as far as the feud goes, but they still like kind of hate each other. Their families. There's a feud going on, and I don't know. You're just so good. Like I loved it so much. And when I think about my favorite book of all time, I can't pick one, but the whole series like was so good, really good. So I would say that maybe I did say the author's name right, Claire Kingsley. I will put the pictures here because I do not have the books. I read them on Kindle Unlimited. They are all on Kindle Unlimited. So what's the worst book you've ever read? That was a hard one because usually I do not finish books that I hate. I am definitely a DNFer, Yes, to me was the worst one. Definitely the worst one. It's just like such so unnecessary, and it was weird, and you know, just yeah, that is the one that I choose as the worst book that I've ever read. Okay, the next question. 6. What is your favorite book-related trigger? Show us. Okay, so definitely tapping, but not only nails, but also fingertip tapping on books. So good. I did bring a few here. So we have Carvel here. We have fingertip nail tapping. Very light and sort of subtle. But also fingertip tapping. And also I'm not sure what this is, because some people do this, like this is also really good. I don't know what it is, like it's not sticky fingers because my fingers aren't sticky, but it sounds like it is. But this is also good. Okay, the next question, let's move on, or this video is gonna be like an hour long, which is not a bad thing exactly. The next question is, who's your favorite author and what draws you to their writing? So also something that I do not have. I don't have a favorite author, but I have to say that I love Claire Kingsley's writing. She's the one who wrote Bailey Brothers. Just because but then again, I only read this series by her and another book. Okay, sorry, I had to change the position of the camera of my phone actually, because I think my tripod just broke. But let's just move on. What was I saying? I was talking about my favorite author. I would have to say Claire Kingsley, just because I think she writes the like appropriate and right amount of everything in her books. Like it's the right amount of emotional scenes, not even scenes, but it's the right amount of emotional, it's the right amount of funny, it's the right amount of sunny scenes, of steamy scenes too, the right amount of like action or mystery or suspense or something like that. And I really loved her writing, and you read it that you don't even realize it, and then you're done. Like it's so flowy and it just flows really well, and I really loved it. But I did only read this series by her. I have to read more, like I want to read more. I don't know why I haven't, so I don't know if it's something that's specific to this series. But if it is, like, she did a great job anyway, so I would say her as of now. Yes, Claire Kingsley. Next, what book has had the biggest impact on your life? So I read romance, and usually not like super angsty romance. So if you're waiting for like a motivational, inspirational book, you're not gonna find it here. But I would say that the Hunger Games trilogy was one that had the biggest impact in my life, because it got me into reading. Like I was obsessed with the Hunger Games when I was younger, like obsessed. I still love it so much, and it was definitely the trilogy that is if I don't know what I feel like reading right now, I will just read whatever appeals to me. But if I do, like, already know the book that I want to read next, then I'll just go into that. I also get my racks, recommendation, book recommendations from Bookstagram or even Twitter. I do have a Bookstagram if you guys want to follow. I do not talk about ASMR there, but if you are a bookstand, maybe you want to follow me there. I will leave it down below. Yeah. So I might see a book there too and be like, I want to read that, so I'll read that. Okay. The next question is, do you have any reading rituals or habits? Okay, I tried to think about this, but I couldn't think of good habits or rituals. I could only think of bad habits, and I have two bad habits. The first one is I'm very bad at highlighting parts that I like. I used to read books and not highlight one single word. I would be like, oh, cute, but I would move on and not highlight anything. Now I'm better at it. I'm definitely better. Even on my Kindle, I will like highlight the part that I find cute, funny, steamy, or whatever. And when I'm reading physical books, that's even harder because I do not like writing on my books. So that's one bad habit, sort of. I always forget to highlight parts. And the other bad habit is I always look at Goodreads ratings, and if the book is like under 380, 3.8, I will likely not read it. If it's because I just think I'm wasting my time, if like thousands of people read this book and the rating is under 3.8, I just think like I'm gonna waste my time reading this, which it's not something accurate. Okay, you can read it and love it, and even though majority of people didn't, and that's completely fine, but that's a bad habit of mine. 12. Do you annotate your books? If yes, what's your method? I do not, because like I said, I am too scared to write on my books with a highlighter and like Sharpie. I cannot. I am not like artsy. I do not know how to do the cutesy things on books, so I do not annotate. The one thing that I started doing was like underlining it with the pencil, because I might want to like erase it, so I can just erase it later if I don't want it anymore. But I also don't do that often, but that's also because I do not read physical books that often. But that's what I started doing. I think I did a few in here. Let me see. Like here. That's like what I'll do, and nothing more. I'm too scared to ruin the book. No. Okay, next. What's a quote from a book you still think about often? So I had to think a lot about this because, like I said, I do not read inspirational books or even like non-fiction. I'm not a non-fiction person. I only read romance. So I was like, what quote could I say like of a romance book? And I thought of one. It's not inspirational. It's just like a cute scene from a book that I just think about it often because I love it. I love the scene, and I'm gonna read it, and you're gonna be like, okay, but I love it. Okay, leave me alone. It's in the Dens of Thieves book, and I honestly do not know what's so special about it. I just loved it, and I think about it often. There's also a few on the Shatter Me series that I love. Sorry, that's my sister coughing. Let me see, where did I did underline this one with the pencil. Damn it, I have found it. Yes, here. I put some hearts in it and let me read for you. So the main characters' names are Cassie and Jace. So it says, I like you, Jace Ballinger. I said softly. I think if you weren't a thief, we might be friends. And if you didn't whisk out knives and threaten to cut pretty necks, I think we might be friends too. I wrinkle my nose. Oh, how obsessed you are with your pretty neck. His hands tightened on my wrists. He pulled me close, his teeth nipping at my neck, and between kisses, he whispered, It is not my neck I am obsessed with, Cassie of Bright Mist. It is not my neck I am obsessed with, Cassie of Bright Mist. Isn't that cute? He's obsessed with her. If you didn't get it. I'm sorry, I do not have any quotes about life that I can tell you because I do not remember any of them. But I also love the Ignite My Love Ignite from Ignite Me in the Shatter Me series, and also the classic one that became so famous on TikTok, the Lift Your Hips for Me Love. Oh, man, Aaron Warner, the man you are today. Anyway, let's move on. What's the last book you read that you couldn't put down? So the last book I read that I couldn't put down is one from a series that I just finished. That one is an interconnected standalone series. It's the Devil series by Elizabeth O'Rourke. The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea is oh my god, I cannot talk today. The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. It's the second book in the series, and my favorite out of the four. I just couldn't put down. It's so good. I love it. I really recommend that series if you are a romance lover like me and contemporary romance lover like me, and you like romance. You'll like it. I liked it a lot. I really liked the series. I liked Elizabeth's writing. I had never read anything by her. But yeah, that one I finished in a day. Well, in 2 days. Yeah. What's a book you've read recently that surprised you? Okay, so it's not exactly recent. I read it in January, and it is the book Breakaway by Grace Riley. It's the second book in a series. You guessed it. Yes, I read a lot of interconnected standalone series. I love them. But it is like a college hockey romance, and I honestly do not know what was that made me love it so much, but I give it 5 stars. It's actually, I think, the only 5 stars of the year so far for me. A few books came close, but I do not know. I just know it worked for me. Okay, you know, when you read the book at the right time, that's what happened. I just loved it so much. It worked for me. Okay, it's like a college hockey romance. It's coach's daughter, so she's the daughter of his coach. And so kind of forbidden in a way. and it wasn't like that. Like, I loved it, and I still am obsessed with it. And yeah. What's a book that disappointed you? So this one, I have a physical one, and yeah. And let me explain. It's not that I hated this book. I did not hate it, but I took so long to read it. It was just, I do not know. I just could not pick it up. Like, I took so long to read this. Like 20 days. I've said this here in this channel. 20 days to read this book, and that's a lot to me. Like, for me. And I just thought that I would like it more than I did. I gave it a 3 stars because I finished it, and it was interesting, but I just did not think that I would take so long and it would drag so much from me. A lot of people love it though. It just wasn't the best for me, you know. So yeah. The next question is, what book do you think has the prettiest cover? I have a few here. And 2 of them, well, all of them are already showed here. But I do think this cover is so beautiful. Like, can you see the shine in like the details here? I think it's beautiful. The art is beautiful. Like not are those vines? I don't know, but I think it's really pretty. Like, it is hardcover. The other one that I also think has a very beautiful cover is like the colors, the art. It's just really pretty to me. And the other one, it's a pretty cover, but I feel like if it had more like textures, it would be even prettier. This Violent Delights, like, I love the gold dragon and the roses and all, but I feel like because it's all matte or something, if it had like details that were like the glossy material, I think would be even prettier. But the picture itself, the cover itself, I think it's very beautiful. The next question is, what's it? Which book in your collection has the tingliest cover? So funny enough, I think it's Carol. Why? Because it has the name, sort of, it's not like flat on the page. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it has like more textures, so I can do this. You know, so I think probably that's the tingliest because I can do this, and it like first like book cover of the first book, and it just drew me. It's ugly AF. But I own that cover. They did give out like dust jackets with the original covers later on, and I have those, but it's still pretty ugly. What is your favorite trope? So my favorite trope, I have a few. I have recently found out that I really enjoy forbidden love, but not forbidden in the like taboo romance way. You know, I do not fuck with that. Sorry, I said the F word. But you know, this is not for kids. But if you are a kid and you're watching these, do not say the F word. What was that mean? Sorry. I do like forbidden love, but not in the taboo way. It's not for me. Like, if you like taboo romance, you do you, but it's not for me. But forbidden in the, they have to sneak out. They have to keep sneaking out behind people's backs, like sort of thing. Like I said, the book that I read, that he's the coach's daughter, she's the coach's daughter, and he's on the team and stuff. They have to sneak out. Well, like brother's best friend usually have to sneak out. And wait, it's not sneak out, it's sneak around, right? Sneak around. Or ex's best friend, it depends, or brother's rival also. So good. I really like that. Enemies to lovers, classic. Love enemies to lovers. I do not like friends to lovers. Do not like your childhood best friends to lovers. Like, do not come with me. Come to me with that. Like, no. Single parent. I also love single parent. I like single dad, single mom. So good. 21. What's a book you've read that you would recommend to everyone? I own that, but it's also not here. And Heartstopper. All of the books. Those are graphic novels. If you have seen the series, the show that Netflix released based on the comic books, and you liked it and you haven't read it, please do. But I just think people should read it, because even though it's very innocent in a way, like it is about like teens, preteens, teens, it is such like a comfort read. It is so cute, so cozy, and it's such good representation of the LGBTQIA community. So good, so good, and just I love it so much. It's such a comfort show, comfort read. You can find the whole story on Tapas, the app, but you can also buy the 4 volumes that are out right now. But yeah, I love it, and I do think everyone should read it, because it's just so cute and such good representation. And I love it. 22. Do you prefer standalone books or series, and why? I think I've made it clear that I do like series. Yeah, interconnected standalone of fantasies, but I do think that standalone fantasies are nice, although I've only read one standalone fantasy. But I do have a few that I should read. But anyway, 23, do you have a favorite book to movie adaptation? I mean, hands down, The Hunger Games, of course. It was such good adaptation. Like, it was really good. Could be better, good, but they really did a good job on getting the grasp of, the books, and but also changing it up a bit. But it was really good. Heartstopper was amazing book to movie adaptation. But the author of the books, the graphic novels, did read the script, so I also enjoyed the Daisy Jones adaptation. Some people didn't, but it was good to me, enjoyable. But I also am not crazy about Daisy Jones. Like, some people live and for this book. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but didn't really change my life. So to me, the adaptation was good enough. Like, it was alright. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. Period. To me, it was good. I wouldn't say it's a favorite though, and that's the question. But yeah, I did say The Hunger Games and Heartstopper were really good. 24. What's a book that you've been meaning to read for a long time but haven't gotten around to yet? So, for romance, the Dreamland Billionaire series, I have been meaning to read that trilogy for so long, and I just did not read it. I don't know why, but yeah. And also, the Inheritance games has been in my TBR, on my TBR for so long, and I haven't read it yet. And now I bought the book, and I still haven't read it. But I will. Okay, I read it. And the third book is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I think that's the English name. Which is like the prequel of The Hunger Games that came out. At first I was like, I'm not gonna read it, I don't care. And then I was like, the movie's gonna come out, maybe I should read it. And I bought it like a long time ago, and I haven't read it yet. But I will, okay? Before the movie is released, I'll read it. Okay, so the last question is, do you have a particular book that you like to revisit or reread every few years? No, because I'm not a big rereader. I don't reread books unless it's been like a really, really long time that I've read them and I kind of miss it or don't remember much about it. Like I said, I reread this selection at the very end of 2019, the trilogy, because I had read like 4 years before that, 5 years maybe, and I reread the first trilogy of Shadow Me in 2021 maybe, and read the second trilogy. I call them separate trilogies because since I read ever since the third one even came out. So to me, like, to every reader at the time, we thought that the third book would be the last, but it wasn't. So she released like 3 more books after that, and I kind of didn't read it. So I reread the 3 first ones in 2021 and read the 3 last ones along with that. So, but I'm not a big rereader, so there's not like a particular book that I reread. But yes, okay, those are all the questions. But she did also do this or that quick fire, and we're gonna go through that. So, fiction or non-fiction? Fiction, always hardcover or paperback. is good to like stay in your book shelf, but paperback is easier to read. Romance or thrillers, romance, comedy or tragedy, comedy, classics or contemporary, library or bookstore. Bookstore, I think, maybe indoors or outdoors. I would love to read more outdoors, but I don't do it often, so indoors, I guess. Sofa or bed? Sofa, because you can either sit comfortably. Wow, you can do that in a bed. Sofa, let's just leave it at that. In silence or with music or sounds. I do read a lot with music and sounds, so I'm with music and sounds. Booktube for sure. Booktube. I do not go around BookTok a lot. Okay, so that was the ASMR book tag. ASMR Fleur did amazing with these questions, and I will be tagging a few YouTube channels, ASMR YouTube channels that I think could do this, but don't feel pressured. And if you do want to do this and I didn't tag you, please feel free to do it. I will leave the PDF down below in the description so you can do this in your channel. And yes, don't forget to comment down below your name so I can do a video, a special 100 subscribers, please, because if there's not enough names, I'm not gonna be able to do it. At least 10 names. You already have 4, I think. But the more the merrier. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do